Young Thug now has 3 ways to be released from his case. The YSL trial was paused months ago after a report of Young Thug is taken ill and was transported to the hospital on Thursday. His attorney said in court the rapper was being evaluated and that he has no idea what his condition is currently. As thankfully, with Young Thug feeling better, his chances of being released are now even higher, as it begins with a report of Lil Woody only snitching on Young Thug because he was forced to. As reports would go on and read, Brian Steele says Lil Woody was told he would get 25 years in federal prison in a different case if he didn't cooperate against Young Thug. The state refuses to give anything to the defense concerning the federal agent that went after Lil Woody with this. Brian Steele wants to put her on the stand to show the jury that Woody was told to lie about Jeffrey Williams.
Specifically is on the recording, KC, that he will get, that she spoke with the U.S. Attorney's Office, and he is facing, if he does not cooperate against Mr. Williams, he's facing 25 years at a minimum charges in federal court, and there's no parole. I do not have one document, not one note or memoranda provided in discovery concerning ATF agent Cunningham.
As in the original report of Lil Woody snitching, it would be revealed by Akademiks. Truth teller YSL Woody hopped out on the gram last year after cooperating with police for 3 hours in solving over 50 crimes, snitching on Young Thug, YFN Lucci, and others, which would even have Young Thug reacting in court the following day. As when Lil Woody originally snitched, he would tell the prosecutor in the Young Thug trial everything that was bad about Young Thug, as the prosecutor would even be seen on the first ever YSL court hearing trying to prevent Young Thug from being released.
He's the one directing traffic. He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's king slime. He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge. And I implore you not to grant him a bond. He is dangerous. If he gets a burner, Judge, and the court may know this, a lot of the communications that Mr. Williams is on FaceTime, because it's not traceable, it's not trackable. Judge, I will also say that we have taken proffers from fellow from Mr. Williams. Some are on this indictment, some are not. They have stated uniformly that Mr. Williams is dangerous. They are afraid of him, that if they cross him, he will them and their family, and they were very clear about that.
Concerns that this court has is danger to persons and to intimidate other witnesses and obstruct the administration of justice. So and for those reasons in the aggregate, I'm going to deny bond at this time.
As the prosecutor used Lil Woody's snitching evidence in a non-legal way, as he was forced to snitch against Young Thug. If it turns out to be true, all evidence provided by these snitches will no longer be usable against Young Thug, as his team knows this. So now they need more time inside of the trial to create a plea deal for Young Thug, or even just a release on bond. YSL members suddenly started acting strange inside of court, hoping for a delay in this trial, as a delay would give Thug's lawyers more time to create a bond hearing. First day back of the YSL RICO trial this month, the courtroom was sent home early after several altercations rised inside and outside of the courtroom. However, with everyone being escorted early on this day, there was a random piece of evidence submitted to the judge against Young Thug. Sadly, this is now a new charge added to his list, as new evidence reveals Young Thug and the YSL rap group were doing rituals with goats. As a lawyer would explain,
but in this case, Hassan says he's unclear what specifically a goat could represent.
The theory behind animals is you're draining their energy, their power, to use for mystical purposes, and obviously interviewing former members who were present, who could explain the context and what if any ceremony was taking place. Then you have some illumination possibly on it.
He also said animal sacrifices may be illegal in some areas and not protected under religious freedoms.
As it just so happens, where Young Thug was living in the YSL mansion, it is one of the only states where it is illegal to do these actions that YSL was doing with a goat. As yes, this can minimize Young Thug's chances at receiving bond. However, it's very clear that Thug is being targeted with everything possible for a zero chance of being released. However, Thug's lawyers are much smarter than this, and to understand this further, we need to dive deep into a man named YSL Polo, where we would learn, update, YSL Polo had been dropped from the YSL RICO case. As this is the exact same man that acted like this when the YSL trial resumed earlier last week.
I'll deal with that accordingly, but your client, I noticed, has been doing the same behavior, and I believe Judge Adams inquired into it as well. So I don't believe that he may be doing just for the purposes of just drawing attention to himself. But of course, sir, as you are well aware, I'm duty bound to consider whatever it is you want to tell me. But your client's nodded in affirmance. He just has some extra movements that the court entirety of this particular proceeding. So you haven't said anything up to this point in time, so I'm going to assume that that's something that you and he are working through.
As fans would start investigating who this YSL Polo man is and why he acted so strange, a story would unveil which would investigate all of the YSL members that are currently sitting inside a jail. Allegedly, YSL Polo, the man acting very strange, was in the same cell block as a man named Khalif Adams, as Khalif Adams is a YSL member that was caught slipping Young Thug something during a court hearing. As a report would share, my colleague Mark just obtained surveillance video that shows the moment prosecutors accuse Young Thug and his co-defendant, Khalif Adams, of conduring a hand-to-hand deal inside a court. As the thread continues, prosecutors say surveillance shows Adams walking over to where Young Thug is seated with his attorney, and then he drops narcotics in his hand. A deputy confronts Young Thug, and he turns the item over to authorities. When deputies searched Adams, they found him in possession of narcotics wrapped in plastic and food seasoning to conceal the odor. According to investigators, Adams was then taken to Grady Hospital after he appeared to ingest other items of contraband in an effort to conceal the extent of his crime within the courtroom, as an attorney for Young Thug then responded to the allegations that his client was involved in the deal, as rumors are circulating that Khalif Adams was told to give YSL Polo so then he could start acting very strange inside of the YSL trial, which would result in a YSL trial break. This would then give Thug's lawyers the time they need to create a plea deal for Young Thug, as even Young Thug's lawyers then reacted to the allegations of him being involved with Khalif Adams.
The reality is Mr. Williams had nothing to do with what went on in the courtroom on yesterday. One of the co-defendants on his way to the restroom attempted to pass something to Mr. Williams, who immediately turned it over to the deputy.
He did not know it was allegedly Percocet?
Did not know. Well, we don't know what it is. Did not know what it was, turned it over to the deputy right away. The deputies took action. The individual who had the contraband, not Mr. Williams, was taken into the back.
Trying to put out a better image for Young Thug so then he can be released, it was very odd when Young Thug's father would randomly do an interview this week stating the following about YSL Gunna.
Courtney said, how do you feel about Gunna?
I love Gunna.
See, that's the thing. People don't understand the relationship. They got this thing saying that Gunna is a rat and he's done this and done that.
No, but see, let me try to help the attorney clarify that a little simpler.
Okay.
Gunna hasn't done anything whatsoever that can hurt us on this case. Period.
As many believe that Thug is trying to clear his name on social media and make him seem as if he is a better person now after sitting in jail. But according to rappers, what Gunna did completely ruined Young Thug's life. Tekashi 6ix9ine even hopped on a Clubhouse call with Wack 100 to explain that Young Thug is in a terrible situation because of Gunna's plea deal.
So me pleading guilty is only making it worse for my man. I'm saying I was there. Yes, I did it. I plead guilty. I am guilty. I am guilty. Anything you said in that courtroom is going to be used against your man, my man. That is open.
Then even just a week later, he would even meet up with DJ Akademiks to share more thoughts on Gunna's snitching.
He just implicated YSL being so now he's home, right? All the people who's locked up, like Jeffrey, like Young Thug, now he can't go with that defense. He can't go with the defense of saying, I'm a record label.
Even NBA Youngboy would react to this situation during his podcast, sharing,
"Don't call me asking me about what I think about the situation or do I think snitching. I honestly don't give not one. I ain't got nothing to do with that."
As another theory with Young Thug's father trying to clear Thug's name of wanting revenge against Gunna is because of the Atlanta DA trying to get more rappers arrested in the Atlanta area, as she is offering amazing proffer deals to YSL members to snitch on Young Thug, and these YSL snitches have now even mentioned Lil Baby's name, as the Atlanta DA would mention that Lil Baby is next on the RICO list.
An in-depth investigation. Recent months you've had 2 high-profile racketeering cases. There are going to be more.
Over the next 60 days, you'll see 2 more.
As Lil Baby would then even react to this while at an airport.
How you doing, Lil Baby? Lil Baby. Lil Baby, how's Young Thug doing? I know all the circumstances. Just want to see how they're holding up good? Sure. All right. Love what you're doing, man.